Hi there, and welcome to Revive Therapeutic Recreation Programs. I'm Miranda, and this is your place for programs to do with your loved one and to have fun and to increase your quality of life. It's quite easy. All you have to do is listen, and if you know the answer to the question, say it out loud. So make sure you grab something to drink. I got a lovely cup of coffee here. Get yourself comfortable, because today we're going to play a game I like to call Guess Who. Now, due to copyright reasons, I can't show you the face of the person, but I'm going to give you clues and describe who the person is, and then you have to guess who it is. So I'm going to put the clues up here, and then when we're done, the answer will then appear to see if you're right. Are you ready? Okay, let's clear those cobwebs and let's start. The first one. This was a famous Hollywood screen star and one of the most famous faces in history. She is an American film star, and she was born in 1962. Her original name was Norma Jean Baker. She always dreamed of being a star, and then she went to Hollywood. She worked on a film called How to Marry a Millionaire in 1953. She married Joe DiMaggio, who was an American baseball star and a national hero. She went on to make some of her best films, including Bus Stop in 1956 and Some Like It Hot in 1959. Do you know who this is? If you guessed Marilyn Monroe, you're right. It is Marilyn Monroe, a beautiful woman and an amazing actress in her day. Number 2. This is an actor. He was a male actor, and he was born in 1930s. He's an actor, director, and became a producer. In 1950, he was drafted into the U.S. Army. And then after his discharge in 1953, he wound his way to Los Angeles. He was tall and handsome, and then he landed a test screen with Universal Studios and signed a contract despite minimal acting experience. His first film role were in the movie Revenge of the Creature and Francis in the Navy. Both were released in 1955. Do you know who this is? If you guessed Clint Eastwood, you're right. And he's still alive today, and he's doing cameos in movies. This next person, she's a French former actress, born in 1934. She is a former actress, singer, and fashion model who later became an animal rights activist. She's a best-known symbol for her beauty and attractiveness of the 1950s and the 60s, and was widely referred to by her initials. She became the official face of Marianne to represent the liberty of France. So she retired from the entertainment industry in 1973, but she did star in 47 films, performed in several musical shows, and recorded over 60 songs. After her retirement, she established herself as an animal rights activist during the 1990s. Do you know who this is? If you guessed Bridget Bardot, You're absolutely correct. It was her. A beautiful woman with an amazing career. Okay, let's take a sip of coffee. Take a little break there. Okay. This next one. He was born in 1924, an American actor and film director, and widely considered to be one of the greatest and most influential actors of all time. He is famous for his Oscar-winning performances in On the Waterfront in 1954, and he was in The Godfather in 1972. Then he was also in A Streetcar Named Desiree, and then in 1953 he was in Julius Caesar. Reflections in a Golden Eye in 1967. So after his movie career, he was very content in being a highly paid character actor in parts with glorified cameos, such as Superman in 1978 and The Formula in 1980, before taking a 9-year break from motion pictures. He is ranked by the American Film Institute as the 4th greatest screen legend among male movie stars whose screen debut occurs in or before 1950. He was alongside Sir Charlie Chaplin and Marilyn Monroe, named in 1999 by Time magazine as one of its 100 persons of the century. Do you know who this is? If you guessed Marlon Brando, you are correct. Big history that guy had. He did a lot. Okay, here's another one of my favorites. Very famous person. See if you can guess who it is. So he was born in 1935. 1935, he was an American singer and actor. He was regarded as one of the most significant cultural icons of the 20th century. He is often referred to as the king of rock and roll, or simply, the king. He was born in Mississippi, but then his family relocated to Memphis, Tennessee. His first single for singing was The Heartbreak Hotel, that was released in 1956, and it became a #1 hit in the US and all over the world. He was regarded as the leading figure of rock and roll after a series of successful network television appearances and chart-topping records. In 1956, he made a film debut in Love Me Tender. In the 1960s, he made a lot of Hollywood movies, and then he took up residency in Las Vegas. He was featured in the first globally broadcasted concert via satellite, Aloha from Hawaii. Do you know who this gentleman is? If you guessed Elvis, you're absolutely correct. He was the king in so many ways and had an amazing career. Do you have any memories of Elvis? This next one. She was born in 1932, and she's a British American actress. In her early years, she was a child star with MGM and became one of the great screen actresses of Hollywood's golden age. She was recognized for her acting ability and her glamorous lifestyle, beauty, and distinctive dark eyes, or dark blue eyes, which famously appeared to be violet. National Velvet was one of the movies that she appeared in 1944, and it was her first success. She also starred in Father of the Bride in 1950, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof in 1958, and played the title role in Cleopatra in 1963. Are you starting to guess who it is? In total, this woman has been married 8 times, and she married the same guy 2 times. Do you know who this woman is? If you guessed Elizabeth Taylor, you're right. A beautiful actress with an amazing career and a lot of husbands. All right, next one. This woman was an actress. She was born with the name Frances Ethel Gum on June 10th, 1922. She was an actress, singer, and vaudevillain, and she was an actress right up until 1967. She was only 4'11", and she starred in The Wizard of Oz. Fun fact, she was only paid $500, or I guess at that time it was quite a lot of money, but $500 to play the role in The Wizard of Oz. She has 3 children. One of them is famous, and she's known as Liza Minnelli. Do you know who this is? If you guessed Judy Garland, you're right. An amazing actress, and I loved her in The Wizard of Oz. Do you know who this is? She was born in 1934. She was known as an Italian-French film star. She began her career at 14 after entering a beauty pageant, and then was encouraged to do movies. She's been won the Academy Award for Best Actress in 1962, and it made her the first artist to win an Oscar for a foreign language for performance. In later years, she appeared in American films such as Grumpy Old Men and 9. Do you remember the movie Grumpy Old Men? She appeared in that too. She's a beautiful woman with an amazing career. Do you know who this is? If you guessed Sophia Loren, you are right. Okay, I've got a couple more here. You're doing great. Who is this? So this is an actor with a career spanning more than 5 decades. He worked as a Broadway actor, and he made his Hollywood debut in 1935. Throughout 6 decades in Hollywood, he cultivated a strong, appealing screen image in such classics as The Ox-Bow Incident, Mr. Roberts, and 12 Angry Men. In his later years, he then appeared in a film called Yours, Mine, and Ours with Lucille Ball, and it won the Academy Award for Best Actor in the 54th Academy Awards for the movie On Golden Pond. That was one of his final film roles, but an amazing one. Have you figured out who it is yet? So he's the patriarch of a family of famous actors, including his daughter, Jane. I'm not going to say the last name, not to give you a clue. He has a son named Peter and a granddaughter named Bridget, and a grandson named Troy Garrity. Any ideas who it could be? If you guessed Henry Fonda, you are correct. He has an amazing career spanning so many generations. And the last one I have here for you to try and guess is this one. So she's a British actress and a humanitarian. She was born in 1929 and recognized as a film and fashion icon. During her active years during the Hollywood's golden age, she was ranked by the American Film Institute as the 3rd greatest female screen legend in the history of America's cinema. She is also regarded by some to be the most naturally beautiful woman of all time. In her childhood, it was between Belgium and England and the Netherlands. She spoke several languages, including English, French, Dutch, Italian, Spanish, and German. She played the lead role in Roman Holiday in 1953, Sabrina in 1954, The Nun Story 1959, the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's in 1961, and My Fair Lady in 1964. Are you thinking about who it might be? Who could that be? Who was the actress who played the main role in those movies? She appeared in fewer films as her life went on, devoting much of her later life to UNICEF. She was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in recognition of her work as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador in December 1992. Have you figured out who this actress may be? If you guessed Audrey Hepburn, you're absolutely correct. I hope you enjoyed that program and going over all the different types of movie stars. And until next time, I hope you have a great day.
Ooh.